in a crevice in a Schoharie County cave yesterday afternoon. The nonstop rescue effort began before 4 o'clock yesterday. John Allen is standing by live at the cave site with the first of our team reports. John, despite the good news, we understand it will still be several hours before Douglas is above ground.
That's right, Carmen. This rescue effort is entering its second day now. But now, finally, for this young man, soon there may literally be light at the end of the tunnel.
That's outstanding. You guys are going to need to think about rotating out of the cave pretty soon. You've been in there a fairly extended period of time.
For more than 36 hours, 100 experienced cave rescuers from 7 states have been trying to free 24-year-old Craig Douglas from Keyhole Cave. And just before 10 o'clock, this announcement came.
His leg was freed approximately an hour ago. He has been lowered down into the crevasse that he was hanging over. He is in good spirits.
Those at the scene say they were able to chisel away the rock that gripped the upper part of the Massachusetts man's leg, and that in a remarkable show of strength, Douglas himself chiseled away the last bits of rock, ultimately freeing his own leg.
Once some of the rock was chipped away, they were able to pass a hand tool to him, and he was chipping from his side.
Now comes the arduous task of getting Douglas out of the cave, which we're told is a series of steps from 25 to 3 feet high. Rescuers say that could take as little as 8 hours or as much as 24, depending on Douglas's physical condition.
Yeah, I think at this point you don't want to move too quick or move too slowly.
Okay, thanks, Doc. Now, there are doctors and paramedics at the scene assessing Douglas's physical condition right now. Now, we understand that he has sustained some injury to his leg, and he will not be able to come out of this cave on his own power. They'll be using a series of pulleys and gurneys to get him out. Carmen?
John, it must be a horrible experience to be trapped underground for 36 hours. Any word on what kind of spirits he's in at this point?
We've been told he's in remarkably good spirits. As you heard in the story, he actually freed himself from the last bits of rocks that were surrounding his leg. He's been an inspiration to all the rescuers. They come back saying that, you know, that he's their hero, literally. What we've also been talking about here is why there are so many cavers in this area. And actually, Schoharie County has many caves, perhaps even hundreds. And to tell us more about that in our team coverage, we have Bryan Jackson here with more.
John, thank you. You know, to those of us above ground here, it would seem that the attraction of the Schoharie Valley would be its historic sites, its picturesque hills, and perhaps its dairy farms. But to those who seek underground adventure, the Schoharie Valley has another attraction, lots and lots of caves. Probably the best-known cave in our area is Howe Caverns, which hosts over 125,000 visitors every year. But the Schoharie Valley is also filled with many other caves, most known only to those who have the expert training and equipment to go underground.
Well, in this area, there are hundreds of caves. Because of the limestone is very soluble, you'll find caves ranging in size, or in length anyways, longer than ours, but quite a bit narrower. They range in difficulty to where you could walk into some, and some, as in the case, you need experts to go along with it.
But DeGroff says with proper training, caving, or spelunking as it's also known, is generally as safe as any other sport.
Probably 99.9% of all caving accidents or mishaps occur from people being inexperienced, improper equipment, or improper use of equipment. And the people up in Keyhole Cave right now were experts in caving, had the proper equipment, but unfortunately there's just that 0.1% something that went wrong, which could go wrong in any sport.
And in addition to training and having a proper equipment, the other important aspect of going spelunking or caving is to always take at least another person with you, and usually 2. And of course, in this case, it seems like that's what made all the difference. Carmen?
All right, Brian, it seems like he did everything right. This was just a freak accident.
Yeah, this particular cave is very narrow. In fact, a person my size, even a person smaller than my size, would not be able to go into this cave. There are literally places that are only 10 inches by 18 inches, and you have to squeeze through. And so this is not a cave for anybody. It's a cave not only for someone who's slight of frame, but also very experienced. As you can see, even with a lot of training, things can go wrong.
All right, certainly not for the claustrophobic either. Thank you very much, Bryan Jackson, reporting live. We will go back to Schoharie County later in the broadcast for another live update. Well, workers have had good weather so far, but they may have to put up with some storms in the coming hours. Howard Altschule explains now from the Weather Center. Howard?
That's right, Carmen. Had good weather so far up till now, but then showers are now moving in from the western sections of New York State. We'll check those on radar in a few minutes. But let's go ahead and look at what's going on for your sunrise. Showers and thunderstorms, 69 degrees. They'll be quite numerous around the area. Later on during the day, we'll see some sunshine start to develop during the afternoon. We should make it up to around 87 degrees here in Albany late in the day. And again, in Schoharie County, it looks like timing on those showers is about 1 to 3 a.m. is when the first lighter showers will move in. And then to the rescue site where those heavier showers and maybe even some thunderstorms move in, looks like between 3 a.m. would be the early onset and lasting right on through 8 a.m. So they have a little bit of wet weather and some thunder to work with over the next few hours, and hopefully they'll be able to take care of that. Our forecast features some heating up. I'll have that forecast coming up.
Okay, thank you very much, Howard. Well, a fire in Glenville Hills tonight is quickly brought under control, saving a family's home. The fire broke out around 7:30 at a garage on Swaggertown Road. Glenville police say no one was injured, and fast work by the fire department kept that fire from spreading to the house. A bizarre situation in the Saratoga County town of Northumberland today. A small airplane ended up entangled in an oak tree. According to authorities, the pilot, 63-year-old Robert Brew of Hudson, told them he had his landing at a nearby strip and was trying to go around for another attempt. The plane failed to clear the trees, leaving he and his passenger dangling 35 feet up.
And it was just hanging there in the tree. And so I went in and called 911, and they were asking me if they were all right. And I said, just, you know, I don't know. And I yelled over, and the guy said, they're okay.
Luckily, neither man was injured. Both were rescued by firemen who brought in a truck with an aerial ladder. And further north in the Franklin County town of Malone, a small plane was forced to make a landing on the highway. The pilot was flying out of St. Albans, Vermont Saturday evening when he lost power and had to put the Cessna down on the rural road. The landing was rough, and the pilot was taken to the hospital in stable condition. Governor Pataki has signed a new bill allowing crime victims and their families to speak directly to the parole board every time a criminal comes up for a hearing. A 1994 law already allowed for a victim's statement to be made at parole hearings, but the new law specifies that victims can speak out each time the attacker is up for parole. Well, still to come, a small victory today for striking GM auto workers, and the recovery process begins after a crushing tidal wave. Plus, if you thought arranged marriages were out of style, think again. We'll take you to a wedding that's helping unite two nations.
News Channel 13 is sponsored in part by Mobile. How can we help you?
Check out News Channel 13 online with MSNBC and NBCIN.
Welcome back. General Motors may have lost its last hope for auto production. Saturn employees voted overwhelmingly in favor of allowing their leaders to call for a sympathy strike. Francine Cunchinello reports from Spring Hill, Tennessee.
Saturn workers want their voices heard.
This strike vote is about General Motors failing to live up to its agreement to treat the UAW as a full partner in the development, design, manufacturing, and sourcing of future product. This membership is solidly behind the bargaining committee to resolve these issues.
This afternoon in Spring Hill, 96% of the Saturn UAW members who voted gave the union strike authorization. Support of the strike seemed inevitable. Nearly everyone who showed up at the Union Hall was proudly sporting green stickers touting solidarity. Since Saturn's first car rolled off the assembly line in 1990, the company has had a unique partnership contract with General Motors. Workers agreed to an innovative risk-reward program, and in exchange were granted a voice in how the company would be run. But employees say nobody's listening anymore.
And what's happening now is we're getting slowly sucked back into General Motors under the General Motors mentality and management system, and the Saturn difference is slowly eroding.
Spring Hill is the only GM plant in the country still producing cars. Everyone else is already on strike. That's why Saturn workers say supporting a walkout is their strongest bargaining chip in getting the Detroit executives to hear their concerns.
We're standing up to the issue that we're losing the decision-making responsibility that makes a Saturn car unique for both our customer and the way we manufacture here in Spring Hill.
We don't want to really have to go out. We have always resolved issues in the past. We've always reached any goals we were given as UAW members.
The Saturn workers could go on strike as early as Friday.
Well, there was no warning for the people of Papua New Guinea when a tidal wave crashed into the island nation. The tsunami destroyed 3 villages and killed a known 600 people. But there is late word tonight from New Guinea's provincial government that the death toll could rise to a staggering 3,000. The tidal wave struck without warning late Friday following an earthquake about 18 miles off the coast. Most of the dead are the elderly and children. Rescue workers do not know how many people are still missing. A car bomb goes off in Jerusalem just before a scheduled meeting to get the stalled Mideast peace talks back on track. A car loaded down with chemical explosives burst into flames 10 hours before the Israeli defense minister was scheduled to meet with the chief Palestinian negotiator in Tel Aviv. Israeli officials say the terrorist attack is just one example of why their government is worried the Palestinians won't hold up their end of any agreed-upon deal. There is nothing like a wedding to bring families together, but a ceremony in the former Soviet Republic of Kyrgyzstan could unite 2 nations. The eldest son of Kyrgyzstan's president and the youngest daughter of the leader of Kazakhstan got married today, forming a union that further cements ties between the 2 countries. Both the bride and groom attend U.S. universities. She's at Georgetown, and he goes to the University of Maryland. Well, Howard's in next to let us know about some storms heading our direction, but first, direct your attention to tonight's winning lottery numbers. A really terrific weekend to get outside and go swimming or do anything like that, but meteorologist Howard Altschule is here now and says we might see some showers.
That's right. I think we're definitely going to see some showers, but comes at the right time. We enjoyed our Saturday and Sunday, low humidity after a week of really humid weather. The 3H is plaguing us, and unfortunately, you'll see they'll be back. Don't worry about that. Right now outside, we have 75 degrees. Big difference from where we were yesterday. This time, we made it down to about 55 early in the morning. South wind 10 miles an hour. That's keeping the temperatures up, and so are the clouds. Dew point 63 degrees, so it's a little more sticky than it was yesterday and today. And again, the high 85 degrees and the low 55 occurring earlier this morning. Let's go ahead and take a look at temperatures across the region right now with clouds starting to move in from the west to the east. Pownell 72 degrees, Center Falls 71. Out towards the west, we can see that temperatures in Guilderland are 74 and Summit 75 degrees. Temperatures aren't going to fall that much, maybe about 8 more degrees before things come to an end. Let's go ahead and take a look at the radar showing that this nice day, precipitation-free, was with us this afternoon, but now some showers starting to move in by Utica, Binghamton, Ithaca, and Elmira, and even back towards the west. Some really heavy showers and thunderstorms bordering on the severe category are starting to make their way towards Buffalo and into Erie and Olean in New York, and they'll be moving our way during the course of the night. Let's go ahead and take a look at the local, well, this is the pinpoint radar. What we can see is that we have a couple storms starting to move in. Great Barrington, western Massachusetts, just to the east of Stockbridge and Housatonic, right over Monterey and McInerney Road in Beckett, and that's a thunder shower that's just starting to pop up over the last 2 minutes on our pinpoint radar, and this will be moving back towards the east over the next hour, but more is on the way. Let's go back to the weather maps, show what's going on with the precipitation. You can see a couple cells, that storm we just started to highlight, just popping up in the last few minutes. A couple more renegade showers over by Rutland into Washington County, by Schenectady County, and then the real first little batch of rain will be moving in towards Utica over the next couple of hours. Let's go ahead and take a look at also what's causing this. We have this thunderstorm complex with a warm front that will be pushing its way over our neck of the woods, and that keeps showers and thunderstorms firing, especially during the nighttime. Now, this is a little animation of what will be going on with our weather. Here comes the warm front with a batch of showers tonight, expect them to become more numerous as we head through the overnight. Then early tomorrow, we'll get into the humid air, and we will see some stickiness with showers and thunderstorms during the day. Then this weak disturbance slides through. Second half of the day should be pretty nice. More sunshine, heat, humidity, and that'll be the case for the next couple of days. Hazy, hot, humid weather, just the chance of an afternoon thunderstorm as we head over Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. So back to the mugginess. I'll have your full forecast coming up in just a minute. All right, so that thunderstorm complex that will be moving our way overnight will cause some mostly cloudy skies over our neck of the woods. Showers and storms will become likely and more numerous as we head through the overnight, 64 to 69. For tomorrow, early morning showers and storms likely. Some of those could be on the strong side. They'll clear out during the afternoon. 85 to 90 if we get the clearing just in time for tomorrow night. Partly cloudy, areas of fog, 60 to 65. Tuesday, we're in that hazy, hot, and humid weather, 87 to 92, with just a threat for an isolated thunderstorm. And your next 4 days, the heat is on Wednesday and Thursday, with our first 90-degree day on Wednesday. So it looks like some storminess to get through, and then back to the muggies.
Okay, so that means when the Giants get here for their training camp, they're going to have heat and humidity to work out in.
And they will not like that at all, I can tell you. Coming up next, folks, tough day for the Yankees at Skydome. We'll show you all the home runs. Also, the Giants are set to touchdown for training camp. We'll have lots of golf, including the futures at the Town of Colony, and a great finish at the British Open. It's all next on our 30-minute edition of Big Board Sports.
Well, as we told you earlier, efforts to free a young man trapped in a Schoharie County cave have succeeded. Late this evening, 24-year-old Craig Douglas's leg was loosened from the crevice where it was stuck. We now return to John Allen at Keyhole Cave near the town of Schoharie with the latest on the rescue effort. John?
That's right, Carmen. His leg has been freed. We were told that he is in remarkably good spirits, remarkably good physical condition for someone who has been in a cave for now more than a day and a half. They now begin the arduous task of getting him to the surface, which could take from 6 to 8, even as much as 24 hours. Of course, we will have a crew on the scene here through the night to see this rescue mission through to the end. Carmen?
All right, thank you very much. That's John Allen live in Schoharie County, and that is our time for tonight. Rodger Wyland's up next with Big Board Sports. We'll have news for you tomorrow morning live at 6 a.m., plus the latest from the cave situation in Schoharie County. Have a good night and a good week.